Are you wondering what it's like in Metro Atlanta? Today, we're going to take you on a driving tour so that you can really get a feel for what it's like in the city of Atlanta, what it's like to live here, and why it's a top destination in the South. Hey everyone, I'm Allison.
And I'm Jennifer, and we are local real estate agents here in the Atlanta area. If you're thinking about a move, check out our number below, and we are happy to help. So let's get started, and we're going to start here from our office in Compass. We're in the Buckhead area. We're going to go jump in the car and show you the rest of Atlanta.
Our first stop today is the Georgia Capitol Building.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about Georgia's Capitol Building. It's been named a National Historic Landmark, and it's listed on the National Register of Historic Places. The city donated the site of the Capitol in 1880, and this was to encourage the state government to relocate the capital city from Milledgeville to booming Atlanta. The building is designed to resemble the neoclassical architectural style of the United States Capitol. Now you'll notice that the Capitol is currently under construction. Georgia is going to spend $392 million to expand and overhaul the legislative offices that have really just grown too small for our government over the years. The original dome was constructed of terracotta and it was covered with tin. And then in 1958, the dome was renovated and gilded with the native gold leaf from Dahlonega, Georgia, where the first American gold rush occurred in the 1830s. It was built to symbolize Georgia's reemergence after the Civil War. The Capitol continues to be one of the most impressive buildings in the state. The current project is set to be complete in 2026. As of the time of this recording, we are in October 2024, and they still have a long way to go.
Our next stop on the driving tour today is Centennial Olympic Park.
Here we are in Centennial Olympic Park. This is a favorite hangout spot for both locals and tourists. And you're gonna see why. There's really just a ton to do in and around the park. There's a massive Ferris wheel, interactive fountains, green space, and then walkable from the park, you have the Georgia World Congress Center. Centennial Park is 22 acres in the heart of downtown Atlanta. And it came about as an infrastructure improvement for the 1996 Olympics, which Atlanta hosted. It has hosted millions of visitors per year and several great events like the Summer Concert Series, the Sweetwater 420 Fest, and the annual Independence Day concert. Now, if you look closely within the park, there is a Fountain of Rings show, and it really adds a lot of charm to the park. The rings are in the shape of Olympic rings and is an iconic symbol for Atlanta. And the World of Coca-Cola, which is a Coca-Cola museum where you can join on a very fun tour. And my favorite part is trying all the different flavors of Coca-Cola from around the world. Some of them are much better than others, but really fun time, great place to take the kids. And of course, we have to talk about the Georgia Aquarium. This is one of the largest aquariums in the world, and it exhibits hundreds of species and thousands of animals across its 7 major galleries. Truly a remarkable place and probably should be your first stop when visiting downtown Atlanta.
Next up, we are headed to the historic Fairleigh Poplar District. Come along with us.
The historic Fairleigh Poplar District is known for 2 streets that cross in its center. This district is part of the Central Business District in downtown Atlanta. One of the standouts of this district are the commercial and office buildings that were built in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Developed in the late 19th century, this area was promoted as Atlanta's new fireproof business district, and that's because the buildings were built using new technologies at that time. A few of the buildings that you're going to find here are the Georgia State University, which is sort of woven into the district, the Adderhold Center, which provides retail and restaurant space. Along with the rich history, this district is the place for arts and local flavor. It is the home to the Tabernacle and Rialto Center for the Arts. Using the charm and rich architecture of the buildings, you're going to find a really cute and trendy neighborhood with revitalized art studios, galleries, and nightlife. Not too far from the Centennial Olympic Park.
All right, now we're going to head over to the Football Hall of Fame, which is right across the street from Centennial Park.
There's the College Football Hall of Fame, the National Center for Civil and Human Rights, which is currently undergoing a huge expansion. All of these landmarks are really essential to North Atlanta's identity and history. The National Center for Civil and Human Rights is a museum dedicated to the achievements of the civil rights movement in the United States and the broader worldwide human rights movement. The center hosts a number of exhibitions, both permanent and temporary, that not only tell the history of the civil rights movement in the United States, but also how that period is related to more contemporary human rights struggles around the world. Atlanta has long been at the center for the modern civil rights movement, and this landmark really epitomizes what Atlanta's culture is all about. The center's expansion is going to include 2 new wings to serve as both a community and a cultural hub.
Right now we are headed over to Ponce Market, and we're also going to take a quick stop over at the East Side Beltline stop.
So the Beltline has really transformed the way people are living in Atlanta by offering really great accessibility. The Beltline is a 22-mile loop consisting of trails, parks, and future transit that's going to connect 45 neighborhoods into a vibrant public space, good for recreation, commerce, and cultural expression. There's 4 main trails to explore when you're inside Atlanta, inside the perimeter, and it's the East Side, West Side, North Side, and South Side trails. And they each have their own character. The path is paved and it's flat, so it's great for everyone, walkers, runners, bikers, even those on training wheels. Along the path, you're gonna find restaurants, art galleries, local businesses, rotating art exhibits, and various programs. Some of the things that you can find along the trail and activities include Ponce City Market, Folk Art Park, Krog Street Market, Piedmont Park, and much more. So definitely recommend that you spend some time exploring the Beltline for yourself.
We're on our way now to the Sweet Auburn Market, which the locals call the Curb Market.
So here we are at Sweet Auburn Market. I'm so excited to show you this market. It's also known as the Municipal Market. It was founded in 1918 as an open-air market and opened its doors in a new area in 1924. It was the Atlanta's Women's Club that made this happen through a successful fundraising effort. The name also reflects the market's proximity to Auburn Avenue, which in 1956, Fortune magazine called the richest Negro street in the world and was dubbed Sweet Auburn in nod to that prosperity. So what are you gonna find? So within the market, there's over 30 local businesses, including produce, butchers, seafood, retail, and some of the most popular eateries in the city, including Earl of Sandwich, Fire and Smoke, and my favorite Three Peaches gelato. Really a must-see when you're coming into the Atlanta area. Little Five Points is arguably the most eclectic part of Atlanta. It's referred to as Atlanta's hippie hood. Everything about this area is bohemian chic. There are vintage stores that line the streets, and it's a perfect spot to people watch because it is the residents that really make this area special. There actually was a 5-point intersection at Little Five, which met at the corner of Euclid and Moreland. These streets went off in 4 directions, kind of like a cross, and included a 5th Street called Seminole Avenue, which in recent decades was turned into an extended sidewalk area right next to the pizza shop. The neighborhood screams of creativeness and uniqueness. The street art is just amazing and ranges from musical to historical to political and urban. Little Five has a Halloween parade, and all we can say about it is it's epic. The Vortex is a very popular burger joint, and it's an Atlanta icon. Very cool. Very great place to go late at night, maybe after you've had a few drinks. Not for the faint of heart. The burgers are phenomenal and the people are even better.
Next on our tour, we are heading down to Krog Street, which is a little bit south of downtown Atlanta. It has a totally different feel, very artsy, very excited to show you this area.
So we've shown you some of the murals throughout the city. Right now we're in Cabbagetown, and the art and murals throughout Atlanta depict the culture of Atlanta through music and politics and culture. The artists do such a great job reflecting the life in Atlanta, both in the past and the present. The street art and murals in Atlanta are vibrant and can be found throughout the city. Some of the most notable art was where we just showed you in Krog Street Tunnel, and in various spots along the Beltline, Piedmont Park where Krog Street and Edgewood meet, around Sweet Auburn, of course the Little 5 Points, And probably the most notable murals are here in Cabbagetown. It takes up a solid half-mile of nothing but murals. You can easily Google art and mural self-guided tours to get maps that will take you to the most popular art throughout the city. And as a matter of fact, the Beltline is considered the largest outdoor art park in the Southeast United States.
All right, so now we are on our way to one of the top universities in the country, and it is Georgia Tech. So we'll see you there.
Georgia Tech has really made a name for itself as one of the top universities in the country, and it competes with high-ranking private institutions as well. It is easy to underestimate how much Georgia Tech has influenced the city of Atlanta. A few of these impacts are seen in things like Economic GT, which supports more than 34,000 jobs, more than any other university in the state. Georgia Tech also created Tech Square, which is a vibrant area in Midtown and home to many startups, a research center, and corporate innovators. GT is one of the country's largest industrial and engineering research agencies, and Atlanta benefits from this entrepreneurship and innovation that the students bring to the city. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the best view of Piedmont Park today. We are right in the middle of Pride Fest and it's quite busy, but you can definitely get an idea of what Piedmont Park is like. It's quite large at 200 plus square feet and green space right in the heart of Atlanta. It draws 6 million visitors and hundreds of events each year. Some other of the most popular events are the Dogwood Festival, Music Midtown, and the Atlanta Jazz Festival. In addition to the events and 5Ks, 10Ks that come through the park, you can enjoy everyday activities like volleyball, soccer, tennis, and basketball. There's a large pool and a splash pad for the summer months, and you can always picnic, ride bikes, rollerblade, or just stroll through the trails. Bring your dog along to the dog park. And it's very close to the Atlanta Botanical Gardens right next door. And you also get a great view of the Atlanta skyline from a section of the green space.
All right, we are back at the office. We hope that you enjoyed the driving tour. We really tried to hit up some of the most popular landmarks, but there are plenty more. And if you check out our channel, we try to take you into the hot spots again, so you can really get a feel for what it's like here in Atlanta.
So if you're thinking about making a move, just text us or call us on the number below. We really hope you enjoyed the tour and we look forward to seeing you next week.